sleeping computers here. I want to show you some pictures that probably many of you have not seen before. They're quite rare pictures and unusual, and I want to give you something of the kind of feeling that I had when I was looking at this piece of property over the years. These are some people that you probably don't know. Keoli'iahonui was the first landowner of this property, and he owned it for quite a period of time. He was also the one who gave a number of the names to the property. Kekau Anohi was the second owner. She was actually his wife, but she was the major landowner in the Hawaiian Islands next to the king at the time of the Mahele, so she was a very substantial woman. Ha'alelea became her husband and was the last Hawaiian landowner of the property. I want to just quickly go back to Keoli'iahonui because he, I think, is important. He's a sad man because although he was 7 feet tall and he should have been the king of Kauai, the government of the day took away his land, and he was put in exile on the other islands, and his wedding gift was, amongst other things, this particular piece of property. It was his compensation for relinquishing the throne. And I think that he, in many ways, is a tragic figure because he was a very competent man who had a disaster befall him. I'd like to show you a couple of other things about this area. There are two older drawings. Both of them come from a survey undertaken in 1878. The first one shows, as far as I know, the only surf with a name off the coast of Papaikou, and that is Naupai. And it means an excited surf or a very active surf. And it is right there in along the coast between Waipahi Point and Papaikou Stream up here. So it is, our property is in fact down about here. So this is the only named surf at that time. This is at the Hoi Hoi stream, and it shows, as far as I'm aware, the only named road in the vicinity other than the main highway, and you can see it right there going up onto a parcel on a hupua'a called Puio Paku. If you look here at the air photo, you can see the Hoi Hoi stream is right here. The bay where the beach is currently, and the surf spot is right there. The named surf spot is over here. I'd like to show you just a few quick pictures of some of the early days of sugar on this land. This was the Hitchcock's sugar factory on their plantation. The photo was taken in 1878, and you can see it's right there on the stream that everybody's familiar with today. This is another view a couple of years later, looking at the same mill. It's grown some, and again you can see off to the side there, the stream flowing into the ocean. The Hitchcock Mill went bankrupt, and it was taken over by Onamea Sugar, and grew pretty substantially by 1891. This is again what it looked like at that time. And 10 years later, roughly in 1900, a view from one of the boats coming for sugar, bringing parts for the mill. But it shows an important section of the coast here. I want you to see, because I'll be talking about it later on, right here. And an air view. This is from 1940 about. And as you can see, the whole of the area is in sugarcane. The mill is in place there on the bay, with flumes coming from both sides, bringing sugar to the mill. Okay, and I want to show you just quickly the site as we found it when we came in 1995. This is a view from the south, showing some of the derelict buildings that are on the site. Building there, buildings here, buildings there, all falling down. Another view of the future trail site, and if you can use your imagination, under all of this stuff is actually a building.
But Jim, to make the point, that's the existing trail.
Yeah, this is the trail that we built in 1995. These photographs are taken just before that. This is the kind of stuff that you found in the grass when you went digging around on the site, old mill debris. Again, back to the air photo. We're talking about the area here with the mill, and there I hope you can see in red the trail that we put in a period between 1995 and 2002. This is the trail that councilors walked today, and it starts here at the end of Mill Road and runs to the beach right there. I want to just describe a little bit about what it's been like for us, and I do that in terms of first. Once we built the trail and tried to change what was happening on the site, we did this without any consultation, because it was kind of an emergency situation where people were going through the mill to get to the beach. The mill was falling down. We took down some buildings and built a trail to try to create an alternative way to get in. And the first that I'd like to say initially was the first warm, sunny weekend after the new trail was put in place. Girlfriends began to persuade their boyfriends to take the new trail, because it meant that they could actually get to the beach themselves. The old trail was mostly a male thing. There were a few intrepid women who went, but largely it was a male thing. And it, as I say, led through the mill. The second one, I guess, was the first long period that we were living on the site for extended periods of time, and there was no drug car at the end of the road every night. We kind of thought that was a breakthrough. third one, the first mother to drive up with her sons and drop them off at our gate to go down to the beach. It was a sign to us that the community considered the trail safe, the beach safe at this point. The first July the 4th, fireworks in Hilo. Never been seen before from this part of Papaikou, but when we cleared some of our land, there was a clear view through Hilo. And I went there the July 4th evening and found two families already set up on the shoulder of our road with chairs, waiting for the fireworks to start, and I joined them for the evening. The first whales that many of our neighbors had ever seen from Papaikou could then be seen that following winter, and people were quite excited when it became possible to see whales. And then finally the seal, I guess, was another first that was really pretty astonishing for most of the local people, because there had never been a seal at this beach until this period of time. And I talked to quite a number of people about this. One fellow who'd been born on the site, lived there all his life, worked for the plantation in the mill buildings, and he was in his 80s, and he was like a little boy. He was so excited to see the first seal of his life. As I mentioned at the beginning, I really considered this whole process to be a failure because we're here tonight, and I'd like to try at this point to say it may be possible to start over with a different approach, an approach that involves both the landowners and the community, and so. Back to the air photo, we're again showing the mill there, we're showing the bay with the beach, and here are just a few contour lines showing where the tali is. You can see the heavy set of lines passing through from the bottom right to the top left. In blue are the steep part of the tali. This is a road coming in to the back end of our property that we came in on today, a location near the radio tower where a parking lot is possible. And then in red, potential location for a beach trail. This beach trail we feel has several advantages, I think, that are important to point out. There is nearby parking for this. The parking would be right at the end of the trailhead. The trail, because it is partly cat track and partly will be constructed particularly for this purpose, will be much more durable than the existing trail. It's all on stable, firm ground. It has a surfer lookout early on so that people can check the waves, which is impossible to do now until you actually get to the beach.
Can you show where that is from?
I will. You see it. The surfer lookout would be somewhere in that vicinity there, so just a quick hike down from the parking lot. The trail length is about 50 yards shorter than the existing trail coming from the other side. Surfers could come earlier and probably stay later without disturbing the local owners. There could be multiple ocean entry points along this trail because it has ocean access from there to the mill site. The trail would be built in a way that a small county vehicle could access the beach area, and So here we are again. This is the trail coming in this way. Some views from the trail. The surfer look out the beach itself right there at the end of the trail. And here again is a diagram showing the parking area, the trail coming in and down onto the beach to the existing trail over on this side. Here is the beach when it was more or less at its maximum extent. We have heard from some people that there was sand all the way out to the plane pit here and across to this point. That was in 1965. In 1980, the beach is already back along this line here. And in an air view, you can see that the beach is coming close to the front corner of the hill by 1994. Here's the bay today. The beach has retreated to this point from that point. So there's been a substantial decline in the beach over that period of time. And the trail that we're proposing would provide access to the beach wherever it actually ends up, because it would run along the back up higher above the water. So that's my presentation of the potential new trail and its location. And there are, of course, many other things to say. I'll let Charlene have the closing.
Okay. Mr. Waugh, thank you very much. Charlene, did you want to?
Yeah, I just
Get you ready.
have.
1 second, Charlene. Staff, can you turn on the light, staff? Thank you. Go ahead, Charlene.